Alright, so this morning we did get the reveal of the next special maintenance that we are going to be getting. In this case, we're getting maintenance this time next week in anticipation for a pretty big update coming our way, a Brave Battle improvement, and also farming quests being revamped to overall make the game better. It's one of our first big updates on a roadmap that will be lasting us all the way till the 10th anniversary. And since we did get the maintenance announced this morning, I wanted to do a quick PSA for any new players out there that have not yet completed certain quests, because they will be leaving this time next week. And if you don't do those quests, you are potentially missing upwards to a few hundred orbs. We actually saw something very similar to this like last year in April, where almost 700 orbs were being removed from the game, permanent orbs, because a bunch of quests were leaving, but in result, the game got better. It sucks to have orbs be removed from the game, and it's most of the new players that have not yet started the game or just started the game and didn't get a chance to play it. But it overall does mean that playing the game on a day-to-day basis, just making your account better, is going to be a lot more smooth. And that's the idea for that update a year ago and also this upcoming update. Because again, if you did miss it, again, a bunch of Brave Battle improvements. But for this video, we're more so here to look at all the quests being removed. Because you can see here, right? There is quite a lot of quests being removed. In terms of orbs, these are being removed, right? But I don't even like using the word removed because they aren't technically going away. They're just being repackaged into simpler quests like this, for example. No quest is truly going away. You'll still be able to farm all the items that these quests give you. It's just that now it's going to be a lot more efficient. For example, Khan's Power Up Party and also Urahara's Shop Training Ground where you get crystals and jewels. That's all just going to be repurposed into Khan's Sultry Bonanza. In Rich Droplet Zone, Droplet Trials, Inheritance Zone, and Trials are also being removed. That's getting repackaged into Linksort Training Grounds and also Linksort Trials. And then all the Transcendent stuff is being removed into Practice Grounds and also Refinement. But since these quests are leaving, if you haven't already gone ahead and done it, I would recommend going ahead now, spending your next 50 or so tickets, it's less than that probably, to complete all these quests, just to get the one-time reward, which is 5 orbs per completion. All the quests in particular are going to be in the Power Up Quests section, and you'll see this. This is my old account, right? So I even fit the bill here where I need to do some of these quests because I've not actually done them, and that means I am missing out on a few extra orbs. So if we quickly have a look at each quest, in this case, Khan's Power Up Party is being removed. That's 5 orbs right there. Likely for most people watching this, you would have already done it. This is more so for those select few players that maybe just started and hadn't yet gotten around to actually doing some of these quests, which again, my old account kind of fits that bill, even though this account is quite old. I've just never had a need to do some of these quests. Awakened Training Ground is being removed. That's 5 orbs right there. The Accessory Training Ground is being removed. And actually, this is one of the few quests I believe that isn't getting a replacement. So you might want to do this quest at least once in each attribute to get your 25 orbs here. But more specifically, you might want to play this quest until you at least get maybe one Shinji's cap or maybe even a guitar. Most of these items aren't really that needed anymore, I will be honest. I haven't used a Shinji's cap in quite some time, but they are decent starter items. But I will say at the very least, the electric guitar is a meta item in Brave Battles for defense-focused builds. And defense-focused builds in Brave Battles are some of the best builds out there. So I would at the bare minimum recommend at least getting one guitar in every attribute. Just to have that, because we don't know when this particular quest is going to come back, or more so when these items are going to come back. I guess to a certain extent they could be moved into the new Khan's Sultry Bonanza. But remember, we are getting a quest potentially sometime next month in November where we can actually get a bunch of accessory-focused items, more so hammers, and that might be the quest where these items are going to return. So do this quest once for the orbs, but maybe also try and get the electric guitar. You might have to spend a few extra soul tickets for that because I don't believe they are guaranteed unless there are event orders, which I don't believe that actually is. So yeah, try and get those accessories if you possibly can. Urahara Shop Training Ground is also being removed. In this case, the quest to farm crystals and jewels. And it is kind of funny. This is my alt account again, right? And I've basically maxed out every character in my books without once ever doing this particular quest, which is kind of funny because, I know how to play this game. If I want crystals and jewels, I just farm the point event. I farm it a lot to the point that I never need to do this quest. So it is kind of funny that I've actually not once done this quest, right? But this quest here does give you a bunch of crystals and jewels, but most importantly, it's 25 spirit orbs that is being removed upon this new update. Droplet Trials is also getting removed. In that case, once more, 5 in each quest. That's 25 spirit orbs overall. For me, it's 15. Of course, Enriched Droplet Zone is also being removed. I myself have not actually done a few of these quests. That's 25 spirit orbs overall. Inheritance Zone is getting removed, and each individual attribute has 2 quests, the Legend difficulty and Extreme difficulty, so that's 10 orbs per attribute. And overall, with this quest in particular, we are losing 50 orbs. But for new players, and this even goes for this account here, on my old account, these I think reset every week. Not reset But these quests change every 2 or so weeks, so there's actually a tad bit more orbs leaving from Inheritance Zone. You know, it's 50 orbs right now, but every 2 weeks, there will be a new Inheritance Zone quest giving another 50 orbs. So there's potentially like upwards to 600 orbs, unfortunately, being removed because Inheritance Zone is being removed. Unfortunately, most of those orbs are not available right now. You can only get these orbs right here for this particular quest. Again, if you've been playing the game for some time now and you've done every single Inheritance Zone when it was available, you know, over the last like 5 or so years, we haven't had actual new Inheritance Zone quests in a very long time. It's just been repeats. So for most veterans, you have gotten it, but for new players, this potentially could have been every 2 weeks, an extra 50 or so orbs. In this case, though, do all your Inheritance Zone. I need to do it myself. That's 50 orbs right there. Likewise, Inheritance Trials, it's also going. There's 1 quest per attribute. So 25 orbs right there. Like with Inheritance Zone, every month we do get a new set of Inheritance Trials quests. I believe maybe there's like 7 or 8 different variations. I might be highballing it. Let's just say 5. So with Inheritance Trials being removed overall, that's like 100 orbs being gone from the game too. Again, if you are a veteran, you'd likely have already done it. You can't do the other quests as of right now. You can only do this one. So that's 25 orbs for Inheritance Trials. Transcendence Trials is also being removed. That's 25 orbs right there. 5 for each individual attribute. And then we also do have the Training Grounds attribute scrolls and also affiliation scrolls. And in this case, there are 10 different quests to do, 5 orbs each. So overall, there's 100 orbs to be gotten from these 2 particular quests, 50 in each section. So for those that are wondering, the grand total of orbs that are being removed right now that you can get right now, it is 310 orbs. Technically, again, it is a bit more because there are different variations of Inheritance Zone and also Inheritance Trials, but right now you can only grab 310. So if you are a new player and you've not yet actually gotten some of these orbs, like my alt account right now, I would recommend doing these quests before next week's maintenance. It's not that many orbs leaving, but they are still permanent orbs that are never going to be available once more. And while it does suck, like I mentioned, that we are quests being removed and therefore orbs are being removed, it is overall for the betterment of the game. Because right now, as you'll see here, there's way too many quests just to do simple things. And one links or potions, you just have so many just clutter. That's what I like to think of it. There's just so much clutter, right? And that's why we're getting rid of like 10 quests, but in exchange, we're getting like 5 quests. So your soul tickets, which potentially are already limited, can be more focused to getting the items that you do want. Instead of doing 4 different quests for one purpose, you now only have to do 1. For us veterans, though, or those that have been playing a long time that they've already done all these quests, because there are 5 new quests being added, it does mean more orbs are coming our way. It's hard to say how many orbs we are going to get from these particular quests, but I would assume that Con Sultry Bonanza is only going to have 1 difficulty, so likely 5 orbs from that. Linksort Training Grounds, I assume, is going to be separated into attributes, so at the bare minimum, we're looking at 25. That's for Training Grounds. Likewise with Linksort Trials, I also assume it'll be split into attributes. So again, 25 orbs there. But I guess it's also quite safe assuming that Linksort Trials in particular, this is the quest that is going to have a solo and also co-op counterpart. These quests might be changing monthly depending on the killer of the enemies. Kind of like what we see right now in Inheritance Trials, where every month there's a new set of enemies to go against. That way every Linksort character, every killer can get a moment to shine. But with that, every time a new quest does come out now, it does mean more orbs. In this case, potentially 25 orbs extra every month, until they stop doing new variations of this particular quest, like we saw with Inheritance Trials and also Inheritance Zone. So it might be 25 orbs now, but then we might also be getting a tad bit more orbs every single month. And the Transcendence Practice Grounds and also Refinement Grounds, it's hard to say. I assume it's only going to be 1 quest, so potentially 10 orbs overall. So at the bare minimum, just on my assumption, when this update does release in a week's time, we are going to be getting around 110 Spirit Orbs for free for doing all these particular quests, which is pretty cool. More orbs is always nice. And that's why, if you haven't already done all these quests that are leaving, I would recommend doing so. I need to do it myself. There's a few 100 orbs that I can potentially get right now. But yeah, with that said, lads, that was the video for today. Just a short, quick PSA in regards to those that aren't aware. We're getting a pretty big update next week. A bunch of quests are leaving. Make sure you do the quest to get those upwards to 300 Spirit Orbs. Because once they're gone for good. That's a free multi. You might as well get it if you haven't already done so. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, though. See you lads next time. Take care and peace.